This is Dabu7. In terms of a world currency, it looks like we may be right on the verge of making a huge shift to something different than the fiat petrodollar that has been dominant for a long time. Now, with the fall of the dollar, it looks like all the rest of the currencies are going to fall as well for whatever is planned to happen. What I find very interesting here is this is a prediction that was made in the Economist magazine, January 9th, 1988, volume 306. It says, get ready for a world currency. And if you have the eyes to see, you can plainly see that there is a crypto coin. You don't have to argue over which one. There's a crypto coin on its chest. And this was put out 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago. We have this small window here right before 2018, and it looks like, by what they say, there's going to be this big disruption to economic life that's going to usher this in. They state 30 years from now, Americans, Japanese, Europeans, and people in rich and poor countries will be doing their shopping with the same currency. But the prices will not be quoted in dollars, yen, euros, D-marks, or anything else like that. But instead, let's call it the Phoenix. Now, I think they called it that then because it's symbolic to a currency rising from the ashes of all the rest. Now, if they introduce a Phoenix crypto coin, you better watch out. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you just can't make this stuff up. At this point, some could argue Bitcoin is that coin, or any of the other cryptocurrencies. It could just be symbolic of cryptocurrencies, period, which I believe it is. We still have some time to see where this goes. It has taken time for Bitcoin to get where it's at. So the introduction of a brand new cryptocurrency today, never heard of, it's going to take time for it to build steam. They're going to have to push it hard, and it may be a part of an agenda we've yet to see. But what they're showing you, was showing you 30 years ago, was this crazy prediction that this was going to happen, and it is happening. Back in February, March, some of these cryptocurrencies were still in the dollar range. They're now floating in the hundreds range. And yes, they're going to go up and down. And if you're wise, you'd pick up a little on the low. And I'd have a little bit of dollars sitting to the side. I'd invest in a little bit of cryptocurrency to see where it's going. And personally, I would invest in physical gold and silver, not in the stock market. Physical, for a barter system, and have a plan for a lights out situation to survive 6 months at least. That, if you can get those bases covered, you're in a good position for any kind of huge shift. They go on to state here that the Phoenix will be favored by companies and shoppers because it will be more convenient than today's national currencies, which by then will seem quaint because of much disruption to economic life. Whatever that may be, cyber attack, take your pick. I don't have a crystal ball. But this shift could come about simply because of the demand. You have to remember that it's all about the demand of the consumer. If enough people shift to this, it could simply bring about the fall of the currencies anyway because they're not being used. So we are in a window of time where there is a massive shift, and I've warned about this for years. 2017 into 2018, a huge shift was going to happen. And I believe this is it. I believe this is depicting the whole scene full circle, and anyone that's dealing with cryptocurrency, you see this coin on this Phoenix chest and you find out that this was from 30 years ago. Yeah, there's a reason why they say these governments and military and think tanks are 30, 40, 50 years ahead of us in terms of technology. And this is all technology incorporated into currency through blockchain. And I'm going to break that down in more detail in a future video. But this here, this is the warning, and I believe this is the sign for where this is all headed. I will continue to update with more information. Didn't want to make this super long. Just wanted to get to the point, let it be known that this was hinted about 30 years ago. We are right there, and it's right when cryptocurrency is rolling onto the scene and starting to take off. So something to pay attention to for sure. I'll talk about this more in an upcoming video with the watchers, dealing with blockchain, the technology, the whole nine. And I'll leave a link below. The writing is on the wall. It's been Dabu7. Eyes open.